Hi, I'm Andrew with Colorado Superior Roofing. We deal a lot with residential roof leaks, and today I would like to show you 3 of the most common types of residential roof leaks.
So the first thing I look at when I'm out here trying to assess for leaking on a chimney is got metal flashing that goes underneath this wood. And what happens is if this metal flashing is not installed properly, which a lot of times it's not, you're going to run into water intrusion here. So what happens is water comes down the roof face, it hits this obstruction, which is the end of the chimney, and it rolls down through here. So when you're inspecting for that, what you need to do is look at this change, because this piece of metal is different than this piece of metal. So water can get in through here, and then it can get in through underneath the shingles and run down if not installed properly. How we install stuff at Colorado Superior Roofing is we actually bring a piece of metal out, and it's got a little flange on it, so when water comes down this whole roof face, it hits here and comes over. If you're just doing a repair, I would look into caulking in this corner and then running some caulking down if you want to, but this should be protected well. This also has a little bit of damage to the siding, and what happens is this degrades, and if it ever gets up above this piece of metal in here, you'll start having a funnel. So always be mindful of that. So the main part of this skylight is the 3 components. This is the interior flashing piece, you have the domed portion, and then you have the exterior piece, I call it. And what this does is these 2 pieces of metal sandwich this in place. And what has happened is as they age, the waterproofing along the entire perimeter of where this is has been degraded and taken out. And so what somebody has done is they've installed caulking around this perimeter here. Now the problem with that is this thing does flex and move, and sometimes it'll pop that caulking and you have to do a ton of maintenance on it. Skylights are some of the most problematic penetrations on the roof because they're the largest, and there are so many different ways that you can install it that most roofing installers make a mistake on the style. This piece of metal is on the outside of this piece of metal, which is a problem because if water ever gets into these areas right here, and it hopefully never does, but if it ever gets underneath the side piece, you're actually funneling water in. So what we do is the installer of this skylight bent this piece of metal down about this far, and what we normally do is we actually bring that out and it covers this piece here, so it's like so. Pipe decks are always problematic because they don't require any caulking, and as they age, some of the components fail. So what we have here is we have our PVC pipe that goes down into the roof. We have a metal base, and then we have a rubberized flashing assembly. What happens here is these are usually multi-size, so they have to cut them to size, and what they do is they actually bring it down over, and pressure alone usually waterproofs it. But as these things age, they shrink, or if the guy cut it a little odd, you'll start to get slits down through here. And what can happen is if I actually pull this out, you can kind of see the separation where you've got the original white PVC, and that can always be susceptible to leaking.